Hey everyone, this is Sean Cecil from the Oculus Institute, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to build discipline. So the reason I'm making this video is because I made a video a couple weeks back talking about the difference between discipline and motivation, and how discipline, that is, the act of working hard, doing something that you don't want to do in order to create the life that you want, is required in order to lead to motivation, where you're having fun, you're getting paid to play, and it's not something that's really work anymore. And one of my audience members commented below. They said, well, Sean, how do you build discipline? What are the things that you need to do in order to have that discipline so that you can get to that motivation? And because of that commenter, I have made this video especially to answer that question. So there are three things that you really want to do if you want to build discipline. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, well, if you just do it and you just do it and you just do it, then you'll build discipline. And yes, that's true, but that also kind of doesn't really answer the question. It says you build discipline by being disciplined, and that's kind of circular and not very helpful. So I wanted to give you guys something a little bit more helpful. So the first thing that you want to look at when it comes to building discipline is you really want to create a very clear concept in your mind of what it is that you're utilizing discipline to get to. Because the very nature of discipline is that it's not a grind. It's not where you're working hard for no outcome. There's something that you really care about at the end of the road. And whatever that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is, you want to be crystal clear on it. You want to be visualizing yourself with that reward, with that benefit, with that outcome every single day. You want it to be real in your head, because if it's not, then you're not really going to be connected to it, and then you're not really going to have the discipline to pursue it. The second thing that I've seen that really stops people from exhibiting discipline is they have tremendous amounts of self-doubt about themselves. About what they deserve, about whether they're good enough, about whether they can accomplish anything, all this other kinds of stuff. And so if you're struggling with discipline, a really good place to start is to look at yourself and say, hey, how do I really see myself? Do I respect myself? Do I like myself? Do I have unconditional love for myself? Or do I condemn myself a lot? Do I beat myself up? Do I bully myself? Right? Because if you're in that second category, then you're really going to struggle with discipline. So shifting from self-judgment to unconditional self-love is going to work absolute wonders for building discipline. And frankly, for everything else in your life, right? Like that frame will put a better spin on literally every interaction and every task that you ever do for any reason at all, ever. So obviously a very good thing to do. And then finally, the third key to building discipline, and this is really like, if you've done the other two and you're still struggling and you still find yourself procrastinating, you still find yourself struggling with the whole discipline thing, this is the thing that will always solve it 100% of the time. And that is, you have to drop the default decision to be non-disturbed. Now let me explain that, because I know that I just use a lot of words that might sound really strange and not clear. But at the moment of birth, right, as soon as you come out, right, suddenly there's like all these lights and noises and things and whatever. And the human brain makes a subconscious decision at that moment that the purpose of living is to be non-disturbed, right? Now in reality, being non-disturbed is utterly impossible and frankly not really desirable, because if you were able to do that, you would miss out on a lot of the highs and the lows that really make life worth living. But that is the default for most people, and most people are not aware of this. They think that the most important thing in their life is this, whatever it is. They think some people it may be money, for some people it may be relationships, for some people it could be, whatever, their cat, I don't care, right? But the thing is that if you look at it, the reason that those things are important to them is because those things allow them to be non-disturbed. And if you take them away, then they're going to be disturbed, right? At the end of the day, this decision to be non-disturbed sits below all the other values unless it is consciously removed. Right? And so there are other, prime modus operandi decisions that you can use in your life, right? One is to experience the heights of pleasure and the depths of pain, to soak up all that life has to offer. Another is, constant growth and to constantly be expanding your capabilities. Could be constant discovery of truth. Anything other than this decision to be non-disturbed is now going to give you an entirely different framework to live your life, right? And ultimately, that decision is going to lead you to a point where you are now working for something more than being non-disturbed. And that's the key, right? Because most of the time, if you have somebody who's, yes, they're clear on the goal, yes, they've got belief in themselves, yes, they've got faith in themselves, if they're still struggling, it's because the mind just doesn't want to go through the discomfort, right? And that's where you got to tame your mind, and you have to pull out this decision that the purpose of living is to be non-disturbed. You got to yank it out by the roots. And once you do that, it will stop getting in the way. And then that's going to allow you to really put in the discipline to create the life that's going to yield the motivation that you really want. Before you go, I've got a free gift for you. So if you found this video valuable, if it helped you see the world in a new way, and you're interested in building a career that's going to bring you both personal fulfillment and financial prosperity, then I've got a free presentation for you to help you do just that. So if you go to the link below, it's www.oculusinstitute.com/workshop. That's www.oculusinstitute.com/workshop. Then it'll take you to a registration for a free presentation. It's about 50 minutes long, that's 50, and it's gonna give you the step-by-step process to building your dream career. See you there.